This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, July 27, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Wednesday, July 27, 2022. Hopefully you had a good day. Interesting day in the markets. Again, we talked about what? Bears are going to get slaughtered. But first, let's talk about the chat room. If you have the ability and are newer to the channel, confused, not sure what's going on, need some help after you watch this video, and you're like, you know what, I need to check out this Discord room. Link is in the description for this video. Please check it out. There's tons of resources. People come here and learn a lot of good stuff about the markets, what's going on. Again, this channel is built for what? People who have issues with consistency. You're usually missing that one thing, that one part of your edge to be consistent, and usually it revolves around discipline or some sort of understanding of the market, because again, the market takes 90% of people's money. That's what it does. It's really good at that. So on that note, I hope this stuff helps. Let's get into the market, what we're expecting. Again, keep in mind, tomorrow, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, there is a plan coming up. It seems like the market is going to wipe out bears. We posted this as a joke the other day, and I said the head and shoulders top was probably going to get violated because bears, the sentiment is too high. You do not top with bearish sentiment, just like you don't bottom with bullish sentiment. I say this all the time, and people just kind of ignore it. And a lot of other channels and people were talking about this head and shoulders top on the SPY, and this is what we thought was going to happen. And guess what? We're now here. We're over the highs from last week. Now what? Well, let's dig into the charts. Again, check out the Discord room. Link in the description below. We're always here hanging out. Bitcoin. All right, thank you, disconnected. What did we say? Said you had to hold this green zone. We talked about you could back up literally back testing the trend line. It's pretty technical, this stuff. Now you have a left-right combo. If you're not sure what a left-right combo is, it's usually a big down bar, doji followed by a big green bar. Usually resolves bullish in time. Right now, looking pretty good. Goal is you got to get over 22,700. If so, you can get back up to the highs. I personally think at some point, Bitcoin does go lower, just like gold, just like the market gets flushed out. It could be weeks, could be months, could be days. I don't know. Have stops. This is a trader's market. It's a bear market. I say this all the time. Do what the market's doing. Well, in a bear market, you got to trade it. There's nothing safe. The only thing safe is cash because you can't lose on that, but you're losing with inflation, sadly. Oil, talked about, want to short it. People keep going, oh, you're crazy to short oil. Again, demand destruction, near-term recession, deflationary tendencies. Oil double top, very obvious. Who is long oil? Speaking of head and shoulders failures because of retail being long, who is long oil now? Who consistently is pumping oil, buying oil? When I say pumping, like getting involved in it. Retail. They weren't buying it when it was cheap. Now they're buying it up here, and I think it's setting up a monster bear trap for them. Or bull trap. So just be safe, please. We'll get into more oil here shortly. TLT. Not surprised it backed up today. Everybody, it's amazing to me. People are like, oh, the Feds are going to raise 75 basis points. That mean the bond market's going to correct 75 points? No, it's priced in. That got priced in way down here, my friends, in June. This is why we always talk about the bond market is way ahead of you. The bond market now is pricing in what? Lower rates. TLT rising. That's how this works. Not surprised we backed off a little bit. Look at the volumes today. They're really not saying much. You filled some gaps. Not surprised. Now, if you're trading this aggressively, this is probably not the avenue. This is more of a slow and steady, should rise. We've talked about this in the past, why we got in, where we're looking. Again, we talked about this 108 to 110 range. Talked about how 2008, what did you have? You had a bounce, in 2007, before the next leg down, and interest rates went, higher? You had this pop. You had this pop before the TLT bottomed, and it was the major run-up. I think we're somewhere in the 2007 kind of time frame where you're going to get this bounce. Then the rates go much higher. Because, again, ultimately the Feds want low rates. They're going to want to – they're literally probably going to try to crash the market to get what? Interest rates down. They can't fund the fiscal government as is. People understand. Like if we had like a normal 5 or 6% bond rate, oh my God, the fiscal government could not function. Another story, another time. Dollar, what did we say on the monthlies? Again, I like to review this stuff every night because it keeps people fresh on why we do things. Zadala, we talked about. Get up here into the 29 range. Back up. Back that ass up. Yeah, not surprised. It hit major resistance. Now it's pulling back. I don't know why this thing is, yeah, whatever. 28s. We said high and tight. It's good, but not surprised with both 28s. Low 28s. There you go. Keep in mind. The VIX. Bears, bears, bears. You don't listen. You don't pay attention. You don't know what the is going on. We said multiple times, bear market rallies have led to a test of this trend line. Keep in mind, even in 2008, 2009, what did you have? You had 2007. You had a sloppy, choppy VIX before the final explosion. We are not there yet. Okay? We are not there yet. Please. You're not worthy. You're just not there. Here was the bounce in 2009. That's just all it is, folks. We are in this upward chopping cycle before a spike. That's how a bear market works. It's a tradable market. Higher VIX, up and down. Remember, high VIX means what? Higher big ranges, big moves, either way. I keep saying, I suspect the VIX will try to test the low 20s, 21, 22, maybe even 20 if they're lucky. Bears, gosh, I mean, it's just like, I don't even know what, and again, I always love this analogy. It's like you're driving the car and you're looking in the rearview mirror. You need to look through your front windshield and see what that is going on. Because we've said this, once you could not break out, it was coming back down to the range lows. Well, bear market rally continues on. Head and shoulders on the hourly. Violated. Here's your left shoulder, right shoulder. Here's your head. Here, this is what I was talking about, all the bears. I'm like, first of all, you're not showing any signs of volume or capitulation. Now we're finally getting volume. Notice that, folks. And what do I say? If a head and shoulders violates, I mean, you could have, gosh, how late do you want to be on this thing? We could have, even in the afternoon yesterday. Anyway, point being is what? It's violated, resolving higher. How much higher? Let's go to the videotape. Please, if you're bullish too, you got to start taking profits. Because once the bulls turn to bears, or bears turn to bulls, the market's going to flip on them. It's just how it works. We talked about novice gap tops, novice gap resolve to chop, novice gap blow off. Again, remember that was a tighter candle. These novice gap close at the high candles. Like this probably lead to more chop. That's where the plan is for next week, right? Novice gap, chop top. Okay? You got it? That's the plan. I have zero doubts that the market's going to collapse very quickly because guess what? We got to turn all of those bears who just, what? We're so sure the market's going lower, got wiped out. They got to go, well, I guess it's bullish. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to turn bullish. And somehow, we always loved how to call the noose, like the noose, put it around your neck. Well, what's going to probably happen? There's probably going to be some sort of bullish news in the next couple of days. I have no clue what it's going to be. It's going to reel people in. It's going to get them real excited about being bullish the market. And then what? Kapow! Done. Yeah, whatever. I mean, you make the sound, you make the velocity. What have we said? Ultimately, this is the start of a bear market. Remember, anytime you get the upward monster velocity, either and or down, that's the capitulation. Here is the blow off. We will be going lower in time. What is the 20-month? 424. I don't think we're going to get there. I personally think, let's check. I'll show you where I think we're going to get to. Probably somewhere around here. 410. 407 to 411, 412. 415 is a little too high for me, I think. I know this is a sloppy chart, but look at that. Backed off. Doink. We're probably going to get somewhere up in here. We're going to test this gap. Just keep that in mind. Do we feel it? I mean, you know how they say no gap gets left behind? Well, yeah, it does, actually. When the trend is strong, the gaps get left behind all the time. It's only after the trends change do those gaps fill. People are just... it's so funny how people interpret things so wrong. So wrong. But that's just, that's what the market does. It confuses and it takes money. It's like people who believe they're going to win at the casino and they don't know the odds. Hey, let's go play blackjack. Everybody wins. Yeah, right. 401 right here. Again, we're over the highs. You can't really be bearish. I know people talking about buying puts and I'm like, please pause. Hit the pause button. Don't be so quick. Again, I did feeler bets today. I lost. I told people that. Like, I'm trying to test the market to see how the action, because at times where I think the market should pull back, it didn't. That was a sign that it was going higher. Then we closed at the highs. I don't care what Meta did after hours. It seems to be popping up. We bought a little bit for little shares at 160, stink bet, but we'll get into that shortly. But again, keep this in mind. Like, the market seems to be floating higher. All of your shorts don't work that great unless the what? Market's tanking or dropping. Rising tide lifts all boats. We'll get into that. We'll keep digging. QQQ. Keep saying somewhere in the 310, 314. I don't know. Somewhere in this range, somewhere up here. Again, novice gap. Look at this novice gap. Then you actually made a little higher high at the beginning of the following month. Well, what starts next week? The next month, August. It's seasonality. Go check out the seasonality for August. It'll boggle your mind how bearish it is for tech. It literally is the worst month of the year. Will seasonality prevail? Does it always? No. Will it? Probably. It's a bear market, folks. Oh, what do you mean it's a bear market? Said this months ago. Review it again here for you. Blow off high, doji, engulfing bar down. Once you broke below the 20-month, game over. Notice up here, 2312. This, even like I said, could you get up to 318? Yeah, all of that. All of that is in play. We don't know. Apple, keep in mind, Apple will probably announce a $1 trillion buyback. No, probably not. But you know what I mean. They'll probably announce something great. The market will get all excited. All of a sudden, the world is just what? The world is just what? Oh, so bullish. Everything's fixed. Let's just pretend all is well. And that's what happens, and then it busts their ass later. Hey. All right. IWM, we've said this leads. It leads. It always leads. It leads. It's making new highs. Keep in mind, what did we say yesterday? Man, nobody said a single thing to me about this. Why do you think the market could go so high? IWM, I think Roth Khan said something about it. And I was like, look at that. Doji. And then you take out the highs, still think 187 to the 100-day, somewhere in that range, comes in. And then it should peak first. Keep in mind, this will probably peak next day or so, and then the market will follow a day or so after. Like, that's the repeating pattern. You know, speaking of UVXY, it stays on the permanent bear list. Why? Because it always goes lower. People are like, oh, I got to buy it. And it's like, no. And not until the VIX does what? It hits the certain levels, because it can just bleed. Gold. All right, let's grab some coffee, take some notes, and listen. All right, what do we talk about for bottoms? Volume. Do you have volume? Do you see explosion of volume? Do you see sentiment blown out? I don't. Doesn't mean it can't bounce, just like this. Purgatory. It's going to retest at some point, probably now going to make a lower low. That's what sucks now, is that you want the blowout. You want the AE, you want the Newmont blowout, right? We'll review this a little more in a second. You want the with the volume. Like, that's the capitulation. Gold, you don't have it. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it couldn't be the bottom. But what is obvious? Everybody who bought up here, right? Novice gap, blow off. Where's the capitulation? Where are those folks that are buying early in the year? Where's the volume showing that they're giving up? I'm actually impressed that people are not. Like, it is rather amazing at this point in the market. What? What? I mean, everyone's bullish. I mean, everybody's bullish gold because, again, the headlines, whatever. It doesn't matter, folks. I'm trying to tell you things. I'm trying to tell you exactly how this works. Again, not with certainty, but with probabilities. And people just, they're like, oh, gotta buy gold. It's going much higher. It's going to the moon. It's going to the moon. It's like, okay. It's not. Keep in mind, you need the volume to confirm it. Every major gold bottom has volume. Or it retests. That's the problem when you don't have volume. You get retest. I hope that makes sense. Here you go. You get the retest. Are you seeing this? Blow off, even get the retest. That was a straight line move, no doubt. Again, this is what I want to see. I can believe in a V bottom when I see volume. Now, I don't. I see literally, I mean, I have to put my glasses on, put out the freaking magnifying glass to figure out who's buying down here. Ronald McDonald and Grimace, is that all? I mean, those are the only, I mean, that's what I feel like. It's just Candyland of traders. It's this group of FinTwit geniuses that just say, buy every day. And again, they must, I mean, sometimes I think they must be paid by institutions to just literally Pied Piper people off the cliff. While they get paid, they just post and create. I mean, you literally can find a chart. Look at the gold to silver ratio. Look at this and look at that and look at this ratio and look at gold. Look at the gold to oil ratio. Look at the gold to S&P. Gold to Dow. Yeah, did you see the gold to QQQ ratio? Oh my God. No, gives a. I hope you're getting my point. I'm happy it's rallying because, again, I think it was due. I missed it. Oh, well. I'm at the train station. Train left. I'm not chasing this. No. There's no volume. There's no reason. There's no reason to give me a capitulation view. I just believe it'll be bouncing a chop. We'll get the retest. I literally painted the picture. Silver. Glad it's popping because we bought a bunch of physical in the last couple of weeks because it was just stupid. Novice gap. Big novice gap. Doji. Cool. Hitting a 20-day. Think it could pop. I mean, what's the upside? The paper game is a rigged game, folks. It's a rigged game. You just got to accept it. And when it blows out, we'll be there. There'll be volume. Trust me, when the paper game blows out, you'll know. You won't be able to miss it. This is not paper game explosion. GDX. All right, again. Ooh, look at this volume. Okay, it's turning up. I mean, it's literally gone from 33 down to 24. 33%. It's probably due to bounce. Well, let's look at the RSI and the MACD. Let's not say we did, okay? Probably could get back maybe to 28 if you're lucky. Again, I just don't trust this stuff, folks. GDXJ. This is actually a good sign for the minors and the juniors when they hold because they were acting better. A little better volume. Doji with volume down here, bouncing. I said probably somewhere near the 35s. That's cool. JNUG, you should, if you got it, run it. Let it run. I mean, but raise your stops. Just, again, don't trust this market because the best time to buy gold is after what? The Fed's pivot. The Feds are not pivoting. They just announced they raised 75 basis points. Today is not the Fed pivot, okay? Okay? Can I get a thumbs up for that? Can you hit thumbs up on this video because you just realized one thing that you never can forget. The best time to buy gold is when the Feds are pivoting, not raising 75 basis points. We're not there yet. And again, they could raise, whatever, let's not even get into that. Because if it does turn into the 1980s, well then after the pivot and then reverse pivot, ooh, then they're really screwed. That's a whole another video. AG, good for it. I mean, it's been dead. We told you to get out up here in the 14s. We said, say your prayers, hold your nose, hit the sell button. You're thankful you did. And now what? You're grabbing it in the 6 or 7s. I get it. But what do I think? I think you know. Leave it alone. Just, I mean, trade it, sell it, don't invest in it. All right, here's a name with volume. Okay, because you're going to see this with CF later, and you see it with UTHR. You're going to see a lot of other winners. Volume at the lows. Like, this is the shit you get excited about. Excuse my swearing. This is what you get excited about. Because, again, if the market is a volume-seeking mechanism, again, there is no markup in stocks, commodities, bonds, whatever it is, until the market maker has inventory. Somebody's accumulating. I don't give a crap if it goes lower. This is accumulation, folks. High volume at the lows. High volume at the highs. It's distribution. So here you go. Here's distribution. Still went a little higher. Here's accumulation. Could it still go a little lower? Yes. This is how hard this can be sometimes. Like you're wanting this, put this in a box for security and wrap it up and say this is how it has to work. No soup for you. NFGC, again, this is a name. Should be up. Down. Newmont. This was the big red flag in the room today for me. Newmont has major trend lines as a date with at 43. Remember, it did a week's worth of volume on whatever Monday. That means the market maker got a lot of stock. Doesn't mean it can't go lower. We've tried to make that abundantly clear. But what does that mean, probably? If I had to guess, it's coming back down. That's why I'm worried about gold and silver, because if you get the market meltdown in August in weakness, I just don't see gold being immune, folks. We haven't even seen the real layoffs yet. There's just so much stuff going on, and this is a good starting sign. It doesn't mean it has to go right away. PAAS. Someone bought it and sold it today. I was like, oh, I think I missed out on it. It's like, man, you know what? Check out the monthly. When it's time for this to go, you'll know. And it'll be this nice bull market. And you'll trade it. This isn't the bottom. This isn't the bottom. This isn't the bottom. Is that clear? It's not the bottom. Not the volume. It's not buy in, bought out. It's whatever. It'll go lower at some point. I just don't know when, what date, when do you buy it? You're looking for certainty in an uncertain game. I suggest you check out the Magic 8 Ball and shake that sucker until you find the answer you want. X, what did we say? It was holding high and tight. Not surprised it gets up in the 22 area. It's cool. It's at the 50-day. Again, signs that the market looks like it's going higher. But this stuff is lagging. Keep in mind. Nucor, we talked about the 128 area. Well, look at them apples. How you like them apples, huh? Yeah, from Harvard. Yeah, here you go, 128. It's not getting over it. Even Matt Damon would know. Unless you get over 128, it's not bullish. Because now what it's showing is possible what? Distribution signals up here. Not huge, but again, if the market's going to start layering down, Matt Damon would know that this can't go higher. And if it does, maybe like a little bit higher, but you have to be taking gains at this point. Like that's just the nature of a trading market. Now, if I'm wrong here, people are going to be like, you're an idiot. And it's like, well, no, you use probabilities to base on the past. VALE. All right, here you go. Team Brazil at the 20-day. We literally nailed the bottom on this. Scott was money on this. He said, oh, novice gap, buy it, missed it. Then pro gap, missed it. And then it came back to 20-day. And then there you go. Oh, Scotty boy. Yeah, dude, that's simple. Look at that. Novice gap, professional gap, go pull back to the 20-day, game on. Once the 20-day is curling up, it's your friend. What's the 20-day doing now? It's curling down, not your friend. You got to get over it. But at this point, again, I don't trust this stuff. Even CCJ, all of the great nuclear data in the world. Have we not seen this a dozen times? I try to tell these uranium folks, have you not seen this game? Do you not know that it does this like pop action and then it flops? Pop action and it flops. Pop action and it flops. I mean, it's like, guys, it's a bad market. Why do you want to invest for the long term? It's a trader's market. You need to take profit. Yes. Mario and Luigi know that answer. Like, let's just take out every movie character in video game. Like, they're coming out today. That's the irony here. Is like, this is a video game, and it's a repeating pattern. Now, again, if it goes slightly higher, you don't know what you're talking about. Uranium's going to the moon. Shut the front door and just study the past. Like, uranium. You guys have been bullish for 6 years. You actually have started a bull market, but guess what? It's not a bull market. It's a bear market overall. So even in, remember this run-up? It got pulled down in 2008, and then look what happened. Folks, we're in this, like, run-up stage. I mean, again, I like it long-term. I'm not here to, like, crap on your thesis. We're just in this, like, choppy, sloppy time. Remember the 2000s and tech end of the bubble? Zinger, zinger, zing, zang. That's where we are, folks. It's just, I've said 1,000 times, 16, 18, one day. You'll see it. And when you see it, you can snap it up. Hopefully the bear market is what? Pivoting in the sense that the feds are going to get loose, stimulate. I hate to rant on this stock so consistently, but I just get this question all the time. Like, or I get people saying, you're going to miss the move. And it's like, no, I'm not going to miss the move. If it's a trend, it's going to last for months. These few days don't make the trend. Arrow, same thing. Like copper, just, what do you want to say? I don't know. I mean, I could just pump you full of hot air. I'm not. Mosaic, this name, again, ag names. I think they're going into a monster bull market. This one's not leading. Notice when we talked about the trend line retest, it just looked like crap. The volume's late. Well, look at the name, CF. Here you go. Here's volume, folks. Pay attention to this. Note this stuff. Look at this action. Down. Stopping power, big volume. Look what it's done. It's held up better, and it's actually up. I mean, you do the math on this. This is a solid move. 80 up to 95. Way better than Mosaic. Like, pull up Mosaic, just overlay them, and you can see, right? Baby move, pro move, big daddy move. Somebody had to stop that. Now, again, I'm not saying it's going to get bought out or has to go to the moon, but if the market starts getting a little more comfortable, this name should rise more than others. Because, again, the inventory has taken off the market. The market maker is what? An inventory-seeking machine looking to destroy retail. That's what they do, man. They're going to take the volume. They're going to terminate retail traders. Like you, me, they're looking to terminate us. So, I mean, it just leads to what? Well, now that you see the volume there, keep that in mind. Because when we get to UTHR, I'll really bang you over the head with that thing. All right, commodities, we're done. Now, some of them leading, some are lagging. Gold, same thing. Please, if the market corrects, the stuff is not going to rip to the moon. If it does start ripping up, is it going to sustain? I don't think so. Because again, what are the Feds going to do then? They're going to raise rates even more. You're not in the part of the cycle that, like, the liquidation. You need tech to be totally wiped out and money to, like, again, when tech is up 5% today and gold's up 1% and some of these commodities are barely up, I'm telling you there's a problem. They're not leading. QQQ is still leading. Sucks if you're a tech or if you're a commodity bull. It's not right. It's not the right parameters. AMD, we said watch the pullback. Don't be surprised getting the mid-90s. But we covered down here. It has to go lower. No, it's a bear market. It goes up and it goes down. And we've shorted this thing so many damn times on pops. It's just now what it is. Now what? Again, I think you get up a little higher, mid-90s. 100-day, right? Maybe even up to 98. Semiconductor bill is here. If you are not selling like Nancy Pelosi's husband is yesterday, what are you doing? Or I don't know if he sold yesterday, but whatever. The easy money, it's over. Game over. Game over. It's over. The easy money is done. Now ride it up to maybe 230s. Take your profit. If you don't take your profit and you win, cool. But if you don't take your profit and you lose and you come crying about it, and again, I mean, it's just a matter of time before the market is going to take your money. Like, take your profits or the market does. That's the saying. Well, at this point, what? But Dan, it's going higher. Higher prices mean higher. Okay, well, yes, but also no if you don't understand what's going on. Again, I don't care how much the chips bill was. Well, keep in mind, if they keep pumping out more chips, more supply, and lower demand in the future because of what? A recession, that's a problem. That's like pumping more oil right now than less. Like, again, oil right now would be absolutely smashed if we were pumping full capacity. Luckily, we're not, and it's holding up. Sorry to rant on that, but again, please leave. You have to let the door close. Semis. All right, here we go with IBM. Interesting, because again, this is a gap down in earnings. I'm not a fan of, when you see volume on earnings, it can be a little trickier. Like that volume on AEM or CF, like those weren't earnings related. I'm a fan of those. You've got your pivot point here. Can it turn into a check mark? I will say this over and over and over and every day on IBM. Notice when the market peaked in November and went down. This thing has been building higher highs and higher lows. They clearly have something going on. Maybe they're the next digital currency platform for the Fed coin. Ever watched Mr. Robot, eCoin? Yeah, maybe, who knows? Maybe they're Evil Corp. Maybe this is the future Evil Corp. I don't know. We'll see. They're clearly holding up in a bear market. Meta, after hours, up, down, down. Where are we at? And we close at 161 for the night, basically. Yeah, bought a little at 160. Ooh, wee. Again, I'm buying this as a feeler because if it's bullish, what should the market react to? Bad news with? Up. It'll get bought. It'll just stupid. Makes no sense. They'll buy it. Just because it has a ticker and it goes up, they'll buy it. Especially if it's a name like Meta. Here we've said, what? The market's bearish, Dan. This is not bearish. What planet are people on? If Apple is rising, the market is not going lower. I've said that a bazillion times. We shorted up here, and then we shorted the earnings pop. What was it? I think it was right here, yeah. And they got up to like 170 after hours, and it... What now? Probably here in the 160 range. After that, it's really simple. What? Probably going lower, y'all. Put your alarms, set your alarms. That might be the short. Apple's going to have great earnings probably because they buy back so much share. Their earnings per share is going to look amazing. Then you have to dig under the dirt, and you're going to see that they probably sold a ton of iPhones, but they sold them on a discount. So everything looks rosy, and it's like now they've got a bunch of iPhone 13s. They don't know what to do with them. So next quarter is going to be a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Roblox. We talked about if you bought this the last couple of days. I mean, I didn't. I mean, again, we just talk about this stuff. You can pull it up and save it on your own. Said it was holding the 20-day. Now what? Got to get over the 42s, and then maybe you can get into the 50s. Now, if you buy it at 38, Burlington Coat Factory guy is gonna say you're gonna like how you feel, guaranteed, or like how you look, guaranteed, whatever his little motto is. You're gonna like what you see, guaranteed. Yeah, 38 to 52, you're gonna like that, because that's the goal. If you clear this, it really opens the door. I mean, keep in mind, you know how we talk about that volume thing that people just love to ignore. Look at that. Look at these nodes. Something's going on. I mean, again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I do know volume matters. The stock has been absolutely punished. Here's an earnings issue. You see how sometimes they're hard to know? This is just out of nowhere. We've come down a lot. Look out below. Timber. It's really just what it is, man. I think it has potential to pop, but keep in mind the market is not easy. If you're winning in this market, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Discord room as a whole has probably made over $1 million in this last month in trading, which is great, because I'd be guarantee that the average Discord room that you follow has what? Lost. Big. Huge. Your Discord room and StockTwits have lost huge amounts of money. Bleeding. Tesla. Talked about shorting it up here. Dropped. Heck yeah. Nice trade. Bouncing back, not surprised. It's all a trade because we have not identified the high in the market. So guess what? This probably could rally back. Where? 870 max, 840. I mean, you trade how you trade. Layer in, layer out. EXPI. Let's talk about fundamentals for a minute. 1 minute and it's over. They don't matter. Because again, if fundamentals matter, the stock would be in the 40s, 30s, 20s. No, it's in the teens. It's a teenager. It's a tweener. Liked it down here. Nice little bounce, but I don't know. I've got it in my IRA, or no, I got in my retirement accounts to get paid stock, and honestly, I think it's like an option. I hope it works out. UTHR. Here, let's talk about an example. Volume price analysis. What did we say down here? We said, okay, here was some earnings or whatever the hell that was. Some news. This was rather discerning. Like, this is a big move on volume. Double tap. Went higher, went higher. Another double tap. Blew out the sky. Talked about it pulling back to this range. Said, if it holds, you're gold. Now you're up near the monthly trend line, and I get a dozen questions. A dozen questions every dozen hours. No, I get a lot of people asking. They're like, what now? I'm like, if you didn't take profits, give me your address. I'll come to your house, and I'll slap you around. I'll hit the sell button. You're crazy if you're not taking profits up here. Now, what if it gets bought out, Dan? Well, what if it does? The easy money's over. Well, it gets bought out for $300 a share. There's always another trade, numbskull. There's always another UTHR. That's the thing. If you learn to trade and you hang out with us, you're going to find a ton of winners. I love finding stocks that are going to get bought out. I just hadn't identified CF and AEM as something that are showing anomalies, the non-earnings related ones. Something's going on. Now, I'm not saying they're going to get bought out next week, just like this one. We don't know. But if this is AEM and it was at whatever 35 or wherever it's at now, 39, and it was up at 80 or 90 and we weren't selling, and you're at the channel and all this stuff, and it's like what, take some profit. You'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But no, once you get into it, again, gains are addictive. Everyone hates to give up. FOMO. USO 79 range. You short that, call me, hit me up on the Discord room. I think I love it. Let's talk about nat gas, because nat gas precedes oil. What is it doing? It blew out up back into the range. Look at that. Open, again, open at the high, close at the low. Novice gap. Now I know natural gas has a lot of gaps. That's just the nature of the beast. But look at that. Volume at the highs. Now I will bless, like the Vatican, like the Pope. Yes, I think you can short a pop. You get back into the 30 range, 31, 32, whatever. Hey, na. Yes, yeah, definitely. You can short it with a tight stop. You have references. Natural gas. I mean, at some point, the heat wave will end. Now, the biggest thing you always have to worry about going into the fall with oil and gas is hurricanes, but at the moment, I don't see any hurricanes on the track. Either way, we know natural gas will probably be an interesting problem for Europe in the fall, in the winter, because they might literally freeze to death. Maybe we'll import every person who is poor from Europe. Maybe that's the next open borders. We'll take everybody in because it's cold. And they can now we'll have Smodge Pile. We'll take every person in the whole world. It's cold, come here. We got natural gas. Anyway, long story short, it is blessed. Thank you. And I'm doing the, north, south, east, west, Mother Spirit, Holy Ghost, whatever. Yeah, it's blessed. It makes sense. I mean, because there's the evidence. You have evidence, all right? XOP, what did we say? Do not short XOP because if the market is rising, these names are in funds, ETFs, in the market as they rise. Crap volume, we see it. But now what? Hero, again, I don't know the top here, but we said some sort of like head and shoulders. Well, this right shoulder is clearly not very strong. It's more like a Shrek shoulder. He doesn't have equal shoulders. Now what? Wait till maybe next week. Watch the 130s. Pray and pray and pray for anything over 138. And again, if you somehow, for the love of God, see 148, DM me, text me, go, dude, drip. You got to get in it. Because then if that happens, drip will probably be at like 16 or something, or 15. And it's like, yeah, I'll ride that thing to 30 again. Maybe 40. I don't know. I didn't personally ride it that much, but that's the potential it has. Keep in mind, look what it did. And last time we recommend getting in it, it went 13 up to 30. Is that bad? I don't think that's bad. Hold on, let me talk to the cat. Hey, cat, 30 to 30. Is that a bad trade? Cat just tried to pee on me. I think that's a bad sign. I think it meant it was a good trade. Oh boy, I'm getting desperate. ExxonMobil. I'll run through the gas names real quick too, just to show you. ExxonMobil said, I really thought we'd fill this gap up here in the 94s. I'm feeling like it's gonna happen. Maybe in the next week or so. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's check these out and run through them real quick. Again, I'm not gonna recommend put them on the video recorder. If you watch this far and you're interested in oil, then you get a special bonus. And that is, we review these names real quick. PXD said 220s probably bounce. Will look like that. It looks like it's going higher. I would probably say, I think they have earnings coming. That's what I'd be wary of. When is their earnings? April. Good question. 230s, 240s. EQT. Remember, this is the biggest holding in the XOP, if I remember correctly. Look at that. There's your equal distance shoulders. EQT. That looks like a short to me. But we don't need to be early. Right? Novice gap. Doji. I'm talking so softly because clearly it follows natural gas. Could it pop one more time up to 47? Bring the hammer. Fang. Diamondback. Isn't this Diamondback? Yeah, Diamondback. 200 day. Here you go. Somewhere, I mean, you can see all these candles, all this congestion right here. You can see it's the bottom of the VAP zone. Take a chance. Taste the rainbow. I don't know. Chevron. Probably somewhere in the 150s. Like, I'd watch the back test of this area. Let's end it on Valero. I remember when we were talking about shorting this. It was at the monthly channel. Hi. And people are like, it's going to the moon. It's like, this company makes 1 penny a share, something crazy like that, trading at 27 times earnings. It's an oil company. Get the fuck out of here. Professional gap, game over. Now what? I mean, this thing is dead. I mean, pray you get to 118. Again, maybe the Pope will bless that short. I don't know. Anyway, if you have questions about real estate and you genuinely think that you want to hedge inflation without buying tons of gold and silver or buying uranium and actually storing it in your basement or something, then you need to buy houses. Again, think about the 70s and 80s. Interest rates went to 18 to 20%. Housing doubled and tripled. We still have a shortage. If you have questions about housing, danmaxrealty.com. You got me right here. I'm glad. Dude, I love helping people on this because, again, it's like the market. It's like once you get into real estate investing and you understand that it's literally the barrier to entry is just like barrier to entry and winning in the stock market. It's all information. Once you have information and comfort with it, it's not that hard. Let me help you out. Get you in touch with a great agent. I can help you anywhere in the country because, again, I can refer you to an agent that I would recommend myself. I will vet them. Usually talk to every agent that I refer by 30 to 45 minutes. They don't get off the phone with me because I want to make sure they know what the hell they're doing, because if they're going to help you out, if they don't do a good job, they make me look bad. But also that's the thing about it. I'll be involved in the transaction. I'm allowed to because, again, I'll be paid a small referral fee. It's what Zillow literally does. You go to Zillow's website, you click on talk to an agent. Zillow takes 30%. I won't even take 30% of the commission from the commission. Keep in mind, as a buyer, you will not pay the commission. The seller does. That's how real estate works. but I will take a part of the commission for the agent. But also, I'll get to help you out. You get 2 agents for 1. What a deal. Anyway, no more rambling. Have a good night. Be safe. Again, tomorrow's probably one of those days you don't really do too much. You got Apple, Amazon earnings. I doubt the market's going to continue higher without those first. Talk to you later. Have a good night. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.